Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. And today I'm gonna need you to put on your detective hat. Go on, go grab it. I know you have it. I know how hot you are for Sherlock Holmes. I know it's lying around somewhere. Grab it, get it, come back here and put it on because we've got a case to solve. Who are president? And is President an industry plant band, as I and many others have alleged thus far? Now, to recap, for those of you who maybe don't already know the story, President is a brand new metal band. And when I say brand new, I literally mean brand new. They've only really been kicking for a couple of months, and they only just put out their first song last week. Despite that, however, they're already a big hit. Like this song here, In the Name of the Father, it came out just over a week ago, 9 days to be more exact. I was at work when this was premiering, but it was slow, so I tuned into the Metal Meltdown Discord, and there were some people telling me about it and talking about it, and we noticed that within like a couple of minutes, within half an hour, within an hour, there were tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands tuning in to this video, tuning in to this, to hear this song, to see all of this happen, and that is incredibly impressive for a brand new song from a brand new band. I would argue suspiciously impressive. So later that night, out of curiosity, I went ahead and started to do a little bit of research, and I discovered that President, as a band, has only been active for a short amount of time. This is their social media, this is their Instagram, this is their first ever post. This is February 18th. The caption is just President, no hashtags, no nothing. Look at these comments. Flooded. Loaded. Immediately, a lot of support for this band. I find that suspicious. And this is pretty consistently the case for their social media. It's join the campaign, link in bio, and then, okay, screw it. I call your bluff, President. Let's go to the link in bio. Let's go. Let's go. There's no information here about a record label, about an album deal, about anyone in the band. I'm going to have to open it this way. We're just going to follow the link in bio. President. Got it. What information do we have here? Another link to the same song that's on YouTube. Yippee. Jesus Christ, this band has one fucking song and all their merch is sold out. Jesus Christ. All right, we can't do this. They only have 2 shows scheduled thus far. This one is in July. It's already sold out. It's a headlining show. No music to their name. No information about them. They're already sold the fuck out for this show. Their other concert, their other live appearance is going to be at Download Festival. And this was announced a while ago. Like, before President had music available to us, they were confirmed to be at Download Festival, alongside some of the biggest names in rock music today. Fucking Green Day, Sleep Token, Korn, Weezer. Now, mind you, they're not playing the big stage with these bands. They're here on the Dogtooth stage, but there are still some decent-sized bands here. You have Whitechapel, Fit for an Autopsy, Cattle Decapitation, and then here you can see President. What's happening here? This band has one song, and this song wasn't even available when they were added to this lineup. What are we doing here? And it's a masked anonymous band, which I guess is the rage now? I mean, Sleep Token have a #1 album with Even in Arcadia, and even before that, we're packing stadiums and driving people on the internet fucking crazy. And even before Sleep Token, look at Ghost. They spent a good solid decade as a mostly anonymous band, and even though we all know who Tobias Forge is now, they're still a big fucking hit. Their new album, Skeleton, also #1. So President, or rather whoever's assembled President, clearly believes that masked, anonymous, kind of alt-metal, moody, theatrical bands, he believes, they believe, she believe, whatever, that's the future. That's what we need to tap into. Hence, President is here. It's worth noting that the song itself, In the Name of the Father, really does sound like a Sleep Token knockoff cut. And even the comments seem to verify this, right here. So every Sleep Token fan got this in their recommendations. You didn't find it it found you. It's kind of hard to argue with that. It certainly feels that way. It certainly looks and feels like somebody put together a band looking at how popular Sleep Token was and said, hey, I can do that, and put a bunch of money and a bunch of resources into pushing this band as much as possible. And like, even going down further, people are making jokes about this. I'm clearly not in the minority here. God, this comment section is a marketer's wet dream. I've been to the year 3000, not much has changed, but everyone's into masked heavy metal bands. I don't think there's been this many people for the literal first release of a band. No, it really has never happened. Period. Not to my knowledge, at least. Like, even the mega pop stars like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, the fucking Beatles and Paul McCartney, you know? Like, the mega pop rock stars. They started somewhere. But President almost immediately is seeing success and getting a lot of support and making a lot of moves. I'm sorry, it's suspicious. It just is. Now, there are people who will go, well, actually, President is a supergroup, and that's why they were able to get all this together. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Supergroups, because they do tend to have famous people within their ranks, do tend to have better luck reaching people, because you can go, oh, well, this band has members of fucking the Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age or whatever, and therefore it's going to reach these audiences naturally. I mean, that was the case with Them Crooked Vultures, a supergroup that literally had Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters and Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, and also John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin for some reason. And like, I remember getting into Velvet Revolver because it had Slash and Duff McKagan and Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses, so there is validity to the argument that President being a supergroup might explain why they have such instant success. But even then, Them Crooked Vultures and Velvet Revolver, they still had to play a couple of shows and release a couple of tunes to, like, see some success. Like, they didn't see it quite as quickly, quite as immediately as President. And also, simultaneous to this, we don't really know for sure if President really is a supergroup, because we don't really know for sure who is in the band. There are a lot of theories. Some people certainly think they've figured it out, but I don't know. And a lot of people are offering up different opinions and different perspectives, which doesn't really help. Let's take a look at what people are saying online. President listeners are pretty sure they recognize the singer, though he's been masked throughout all the teasers and the new music video for In the Name of the Father. A large portion of those commenting on social media are pretty certain they've identified Charlie Simpson as the vocalist for President. I get President is supposed to be an anonymous band, but the vocals gave it away. At Charlie Simpson, did you really think we would get that? It's you from the moment you sang President Band. Holy shit, the singer of President is Charlie Simpson. I can recognize that voice anywhere. For those of you who don't know, he's in a band called Fight Star, and he won a season of Masked Singer. I gotta be honest, I've no clue who Fight Star is. I've no earthly fucking clue. Let's go find out who Fight Star is. Apparently they're a big deal. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about fucking The Masked Singer. Who gives a shit about that? Do people watch that, really? I don't know, man. Anyways, Fight Star were a British rock band that formed in 2003. Charlie Simpson was in that band. Good for them. What else has he done? Let's go find out. He was in a pop-punk band called Busted. Never heard of them neither. However, simultaneous to this, some fans are speculating that President could be some kind of Sleep Token spin-off, since they share the same management company as the chart-topping metal outfit. President also only follow 4 other bands on Facebook: Mogwai, Deftones, The Cure, and Under Oath. Some fans have suggested that President could share band members with one or several of these groups. So sure, it could be Charlie Simpson, but it could also be the members of Sleep Token, just in a new, different band with new, different masks, I guess. Why not? It could also be a combination of people from Mogwai, Deftones, The Cure, and Under Oath. I don't know. Bunch of different theories floating around. We're not really gonna know for sure until we know for sure. Hopefully it won't take somebody getting doxxed for somebody to know. Hopefully this doesn't fully replicate Sleep Token in that sense. Yikes. My hot take is that it doesn't matter who is or isn't in this band, because, again, on social media, we have so many posts, no hashtags, no nothing, teasers going back months. The social media was launched on January 1st, very beginning of the year, first post February 18th, nothing going on here, just President. with spaced out bold capital letters. That's it. That's it. And that was enough to bring in all these people. 5,000 people liked this. What the hell are we doing? And we have multiple posts leading up to the release of In the Name of the Father that are just like this. Just like this. Like, the campaign. Wow. Join the campaign. Wow. No hashtags, no nothing. Thousands of people commenting and liking and sharing. Registration open now. Like, it's very clear to me that President and their management company, their PR company, whatever, they clearly put a lot of money into really pushing this stuff, into really creating and pushing an algorithm that would put this in front of people to make them like it. And I think the same can be said for the song itself, because the moment this launched, it was everywhere. This YouTube channel, 39,000 subscribers, 2 videos. Only one of which is publicly available. Interesting. Huh, or is there a short? Maybe that's what they mean by the other video. That might be what they mean by the other video. Even so, that's crazy. 39,000 subscribers, 2 videos. This one's 24K views, this little short. 818K, they're gonna near 1 million. They're gonna hit 1 million at some point, guaranteed. And there's no album, no record deal, or no information about a record deal publicly available. They're playing download. They already have a sold-out show. They already have sold-out merch! All of this success happening so quickly, so fast, so intense, I'm sorry, it reeks of industry plant. It just does. I don't care if this is a supergroup, if it has Charlie Simpson and some fucker from Deftones or Sleep Token. The fact that they can be this successful, this popular, this quickly, you can't achieve that unless you have a management company really driving this shit, like really spending a ton of money just pushing this and pushing this and pushing this. Dare I say, you can't have this kind of success unless the industry is planting you directly into a situation where you will have success. Dare I say, you can't have this success immediately unless you are an industry plant. I know I'm kind of repeating myself at this point, but I'm going to say it one more time before we close out. There is simply no way that a band with no music to their name up until a week ago is going to be this successful this quickly. It's just that simple. All of their social media posts, it's all nothing. Just like, join the campaign, be there, here we are, this is us. No hashtags, no nothing. Thousands of people tuned in. Thousands of people were immediately drawn to it because algorithms were pushed on them, because industries paid for that to happen, because the marketing, the management company paid for that to happen, and they're already playing download despite the fact that they have one fucking song and no fucking album, and they're playing alongside some of the biggest and brightest names in rock and metal and punk music today. And yeah, maybe they do have Charlie Simpson, maybe they do have members of Sleep Token and Deftones. That's possible. I don't know. But it really doesn't matter, because even in that scenario, it still takes time to see this kind of success, and yet no time has passed, and they're seeing this kind of success. I don't buy it. I believe fully that President is an industry plant band. I will die on this hill, if need be. That's all for me, I guess. Feel free to share your theories, I guess, as to whether or not this is an industry plant band. Feel free to share your theories as to who's in the band, what they're about, what's coming next. I will say, despite the fiery tone of this video, I am genuinely interested to see what happens with this band, just because I'm interested to see how they continue to capitalize on the momentum that is happening right now, just to see where they continue to build and grow from here. It'll definitely make for some interesting shit to talk about in the near future, at bare minimum. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here, press subscribe, join us on Discord, and as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.